this discussion during the panel. And I would like to invite our third speaker, Shlomo Nimrodi, who is heading the tech transfer company of Tel Aviv, Ramot. Please.
Thank you, Uri. How much time do I have?
10 minutes.
Okay, that's plenty. No presentation. We'll just share with you some thoughts that I have. As Uri said, I'm responsible for they call it technology transfer. It's really the business engagement center for the academic with industry. Couple points I'd like to highlight, just listening to what what Liat said and Michal, which I think are enlightening. First of all, I think we're living in an amazing, opportune time. Quality of life actually allow us to live longer. That's the good news. The bad news, we're going to have more terrible diseases related mostly to central nervous system. If you look today and the major pharma companies, they're all actually coming to academic institutions, recognizing very early on that there is a good science, good research that can be found in academic institutions. In fact, the best way to demonstrate that, I'm heading next week to the biopartnering event. You're going to be there, Liat, in San Diego.
Next week I'm going to see Eric Clapton in Germany.
Oh, that's much better. Actually, 400 licensing deals were signed last year, 2013. A couple interesting points, more than 50% of these deals were at preclinical stage, early stage discovery. That says something. It means that there is room for you guys to innovate and come forward to industry. As far as neurology goes, in fact, 15% of whatever was licensed last year was in neurology, which is quite a sizable number. And again, more than 50% of those were in early stage and discovery, which I think really provides for a good news for you guys. Some of the challenges that I see as part of my role as the head of the tech transfer, specifically in CNS, and I think Liat have indicated something in this regard, the end point is very difficult, very challenging. And one of the reasons why many drugs are not getting to the bottom line, to the end point, is because it's not objective enough whether it's effective or not. And I think the role of biomarkers is going to grow substantially over time. This is something for you guys to think about. Having said that, Israel have been traditionally very strong, I think, on the world scene in terms of CNS. I mean, talking about the Copaxone and talking about the XL, I think, the Alzheimer drug from Hebrew U. And hopefully we're going to have something from Tel Aviv soon on ALS. Danny is going to talk about that very soon. But certainly Israel has been on the world arena. Now, one of the challenges that I found as the head of the tech transfer is that while academic has amazing research, in many cases, when we bring it to industry, it's too early. I mean, the best way to envision that, think of a ladder of step 1 to 10, 1 being the first stage of a great idea of a new mechanism of action or a new molecule for a certain disease. And step 10 actually being the point where it becomes relevant for industry. Understanding the mode of action, having a good preclinical set of data, having some toxicity data. Unfortunately, most science in academic institution is right there in the middle. There is a good, very basic preclinical, few mices, not necessarily done correctly. There is a good publication in Science magazine, I mean, as reputable as it may be, but this is unfortunately not enough. And as a result of that, what's happening is that we're having a hard time actually getting pharma companies to bite, to say, okay, I'm going to take it, this is serious enough for me to move forward with. The second problem, even if they take the technology, the financial terms are relatively poor, or relatively, I would say, modest. And when I recognize that, one of the things we actually put together at our Business Engagement Center, we put a series of programs, funding programs and support programs for those stage 5 technologies that we think has the potential to bring them to step 10. And those programs include, first and foremost, funding. Today we have funding sources ranges from $70,000 up to $1 million, obviously pending success through different milestones. We have assembled a world-leading scientific committee, which is all formed from industry experts, people that came from the pharma companies, people that have been successful in taking drugs from early stage all the way to market. And last but not least, we actually have on staff people that have developed drugs and understand what are the expectations from a pharma standpoint. So a couple things I want to leave you with, and this is really a message more to the people who make decisions. I think a couple things I'd like to see happening as far as increasing the likelihood of making an impact. It's not just publishing an article. It's not just publishing a research in a science magazine. I'd like to see more people that wants to make an impact on mankind and wants to see their drug coming to market or their medical device or their diagnostic tool. And I think for that several things needs to happen. I'd like to see that people get recognized also for patents that they publish, not just research that they've done. Number one, I'd like to see more attention to informing or educating, teaching the students about regulatory, about how to actually build a trial, a preclinical trial. Why is it important to write a patent? At what stage to come? I think these are all lacking. And often, more often than not, we find ourselves actually chasing a professor that actually is going to present his findings and we don't have a patent. Guess what? We may have lost the opportunity. I'd like to see more, and this is really an appeal to the industry. I would like to see the industry, and it's getting there, treating the academic on an equal ground. I mean, one of the risks, and I came from industry, I spent my entire career working for the industry, not so much the pharma, the high tech. One of the risks that we as academic institutions have is we don't want to become a cheap R&D labs for industries. We think we have a lot to offer. We have tremendous amount of talent, knowledge, and a lot of money that is being invested in the university in basic science. But sometimes I have to say that I have a feeling that the industry basically takes advantage of academic. And I'd like to see a more equal footing in this regard. I think there is more, especially in CNS, because of the challenges in CNS, I'd like to see more involvement of internship, postdocs, docs, and there are solutions that relates to IP and who owns what and what's going to be the share. These are all solvable things. I mean, these are words that people don't like to talk about, but there are solutions. So with these thoughts, I'd like to leave for any questions if there are.